Hello friends, this is Durga from ITversity. So I'm kickstarting the 3-day Scala and Spark workshop. Those who are on YouTube session, I might not be able to answer your questions straight away. But if you want to be part of the live discussion, make sure you have 6-month lab access by going to labs.itversity.com. Once you sign up, you can send me the confirmation and I will add you to the WebEx, and we can discuss directly over WebEx. So that being said, let us start. So those who are on WebEx already, 1 minute, okay?
Got it. 91 CH GA great.
You got the link for WebEx, right? In the chat, I sent it to you. In the Skype chat, I sent yesterday. No? I'm sending. Okay, so those who are online, make sure you go to labs.itversity.com. When I say online, those who are on WebEx, make sure you guys are on labs.itversity.com. Sign in with your email ID, whatever you have used to sign up and make the payment. And once you log in, make sure you got the user ID and password, user ID like this. If any of you do not get like this, let me know. I will make sure you get the access before we start with the rest of the training. Okay, so I will give you a minute. Please go to labs.itversity.com and then log in, and you should have at least 6 months of subscription, and then you should have user ID and password. Those who are on YouTube live, if you want to get live support, make sure you sign up to the lab with a new email ID. With your email ID, and make the payment for 6 months. So once you log in, if you don't have valid subscription, it will take you to this page. So you have to choose this, click on enroll now, and it will take you to the PayPal gateway. You can make the payment. Once the payment is done, just ping me your email ID at training@itversity.com. Don't ping your email IDs in the live chat. Just send me your email ID at training@itversity.com and let me know that you have sent an email. I will immediately add you to the WebEx. I will send you the WebEx link to your email ID. Okay. So, okay, sorry, I didn't share my screen. I'm sharing my screen. Thank you, Madhav. Now you should see my screen. So all you guys have to do, log in, and then once you log in, it should take you to the lab page, and you should have user ID here and your password here. I will tell you how to use these details to connect and all in a moment, but first make sure that you get the user ID here. Okay, so let me mute few folks here. Hello. Okay, so please confirm that every one of you can access. Chrome ఉందా మీ దాంట్లో? IE open చేయండి ఒకసారి. Okay. So just give me a few minutes. I need to send WebEx invitation to a person. Have you joined the WebEx session? Okay. Okay, I'm stopping sharing for a moment. Okay, I'm starting sharing again. Okay, that's fine. Okay, so I hope everyone able to access the lab, get the user ID and password. So now you can actually, you need to either have PuTTY or Sigwin, or for temporary purpose, you can use this Open Console. Okay, so with Open Console, this is how you should test whether you are able to log in or not. Click on this Open Console, and you got your user ID and password here. Okay, so copy, if you click, it will be automatically copied, and make sure that it is bold here. If it is not bold, then it will not be pasted. And if you are using Windows, make sure you use Shift Insert to paste, not Control V, because this is terminal emulator, and in terminal, Control V will not work for the paste command. Hence, you have to use Shift Insert, and then hit enter. Always make sure that your cursor is bold. So mute. 1 minute, there is some background noise. Yeah, now it will, okay. Then you can copy the password from here and paste the password here and hit enter, and you should be able to log in. If you have PuTTY, you can open the PuTTY, and in the PuTTY you have to use this as your host. Okay, so this is the host, and the username is this one in PuTTY, and password, you have to copy the password from here and then type Shift plus Insert. Okay. Okay, so host name is gw01.itversity.com. For password, click on copy password and then type Shift Insert to paste. With Sigwin also, with Sigwin you just have to say SSH, your username, in this case dgaddiraju at gw01.itversity.com. Once you type that, or even if you are using Mac or Linux, you have to open the terminal like this. Okay, and if you are new to Mac and if you don't know where your terminal is, just do the spot search. On the top right corner, you have the magnifying glass. Go to that spotlight search and then search for terminal. Then it will open your terminal. Okay, once you open your terminal, you can give this SSH command. In my case, username is dgadraju. You have to pick your username from the labs.itversity.com once you make the payment. And then it will prompt for the password. You have to click on copy here. If it is Mac, you have to use Command V to paste. If it is Windows, you have to use Shift Insert. And then you should be able to log into the lab. Okay, and here it should show your user ID. Good morning. And here is the host name. Okay, so this is how you can log in. Okay, so I will give a minute or two. You make sure that you are able to access before we proceed further. Yeah, I know he has been torturing me for a couple of months. Yeah, can you share the password with him, Wi-Fi password and all? And one more lady also made the payment.
Okay.
But she will be joining on WebEx for today. Okay. Tomorrow and after tomorrow she will be here.
Okay, and there's one more guy who's gonna come in for me.
Yeah.
We're waiting for it. It's nice to you.
Yeah.
You have password for
You don't need to have a PayPal account, Madhav. You just have to pay using credit card. But the payment gateway is PayPal. Okay. It will go to the payment gateway called PayPal, but you can share your credit card or debit card. I think even net banking will work. You just have to give it a try. If you have issues, what you can do is, I have an alternative. You just temporarily join this YouTube live session, and there is a spot payment option here. You have to just click on this dollar and say send a super chat, and then you have to just modify the amount, and you can actually send it like this, and then I will set up the lab access and all those things for you. It is a little bit painful. I don't prefer this way, unless every other option is sorted out, but we have plan B option like this also. Okay. So again, those who are on YouTube live, if you already paid me if you have already subscribed to the lab for more than 6 months or for 6 months, let me know. I will add you to the WebEx session. If you are new to this and if you want to be part of the workshop using WebEx, make sure you buy going to labs.itversity.com and then confirm with me. Then I will send you the email. And this is a 3-day workshop, so it will be a little bit slower to begin with. So don't feel bored if you are joining me on YouTube live, and if there is a lot of pauses in between, just be patient. Okay, so I will give a couple of minutes to the folks to validate that they are able to access the lab, because that is very important. And most of the exercises you guys will be doing on the lab. And then I will tell the agenda, how the course will be, and then we will take it from there. Okay, you have 2 minutes time, whoever is online. Then I will announce the agenda for the next 3 days. up at lunchtime. It comes handy. I don't need to use the headset. And
Yeah.
all. Yeah.
Lovely.
Yeah. So there are a few questions here. Yeah, Madhav, I got the payment. You don't need to do anything. You just log in and you will get. So for the first timer, you will get create user option here. You just have to click on create user and the user will be created for you for the first time. Don't do that because you already paid, right? I will give the lab access.
Gautam, right? Chennai or Pune? Pune.
Oh, okay. Okay. So pay for the 6 months lab so that you will get the lab access immediately, and we will take the rest of the amount.
So there's one more that is coming up.
Yeah.
Put your
Okay, I need to connect to the screen. Where is the? No. There should be another one. Yeah, I think this is the one. Yeah. Set up TV off again. ఇది ఆన్ చేయాలి ఆమె పిలుస్తారు కొంచెం ఓకే మాధవ్ ఆర్ యూ ఏబుల్ టు and share me your email ID. I will send you the WebEx link. You also can see here, but I will send the WebEx link also. So I'm stopping sharing for a moment. Let them come. Hey Shravani, so we haven't started on the main content yet. I'm just setting up the lab access to everyone. I hope you can hear me, Shravani. Okay. Yeah, I can hear you. Just give me a moment, okay? What is your email ID? THATAVARTHI. Hey Shravani, can you sign up? So what you have, you are supposed to do is you go to labs.itversity.com. Okay, so this is the user ID, sorry, website. Once you go there, you just sign up with your Google account or local email. If you want to sign up locally rather than your Google social authentication, you just have to click on sign up here, and you can give the full name, email ID, blah blah blah. Or better way is to just use your Google or Facebook by clicking on this and authenticate with your Google account, and then it will take you to plans for the first time. Don't make the payment. Once you sign in, just share the email ID with me. I will give you access to the lab because you already made the payment. Is it clear, Shravani? Okay, so let me know. It's okay, I will give the access directly. Okay, so first go to labs.itversity.com and sign up.
There anyway, we're supposed to do the registration and thought of going to. You already, we need that user ID and password, right?
That's what. Okay. So ping me your email ID in the WebEx chat. I will give the lab access.
Sorry. Not that.
Yeah. So can you guys hear me? I just removed the headset and using a better speaker. Please confirm that you guys can hear me. Mohit, you should get access directly. So once you log in, right? Once you log in with your email ID using which you made the payment. Okay. For the first time, you will have a create user option here. You just have to click on create user and the user account will be created for you and you will get the username and password here. Okay. Okay, cool, Madhav. Mohit, can you log in? I didn't see your message earlier. I always get confused between you and okay, Madhav and Mohit are same. That's fine. I got confused for a moment. Anyway, so let me take care of Shravani and Vicky, and then we'll take it from there. Okay, first I'm taking care of Shravani. Okay, I'm giving 6-month access to her. Okay, that's 185. September 24th. Okay, Shravani, you should now you should log. Just refresh the page. Once you refresh the page, you will see create user option here, and then click on create user. Your user will be created. Now I will take care of Vicky's. Now you should log in and you should click on create user.
Oh, Alex, okay.
Can I use another browser?
But not don't worry about that. That's because you don't have to see from here. I can zoom in a lot of important information. Yeah, you can create it. Now you can go to the terminal. Use this user ID. Message. tw01 .idiversity.com. Okay, notice also. Chennai. Sit down, sit down. Sit over. Yeah. Sit on wood. Okay. I will set up your account. Give me a moment. Please sit down.
Meanwhile, let me announce the agenda for next 3 days. So we'll start with Scala today, and also we'll try to get overview about all the tools we have on the cluster. And tomorrow and after tomorrow, it's primarily Spark. Tomorrow we will mostly cover core Spark, which is the foundation for the entire other modules of the Spark. And on Sunday we'll be covering Spark SQL in the morning, and afternoon we will be covering Spark streaming along with Kafka and Flume to understand how the streaming analytics is done. So that's the 3-day agenda. Start your laptop. Okay, so to get started, you need to set up few tools on your laptop. And what are those tools? You need to download IntelliJ with Scala plugin. Okay, and that is the main tool. On top of that, you need to download Scala, download Spark. Okay, these 3 are the things which you need to do. This second 2 and 3 are not mandatory, but better to have. Means if you want to run some things on your machine, it's better to have Scala and Spark individually also. IntelliJ with Scala plugin will automatically get all the required stuff for you. Hence, you don't need to actually set up Scala and Spark. Okay, so to set up Scala with IntelliJ, first you need to have JDK. Without JDK, you will not be able to set up. I hope everyone have the JDK. Yeah, this one will have JDK. Once you confirm that you have JDK, what you have to do is search for Scala download. Okay. Yeah, that's fine. But I will take it for others. So whoever don't have, just ping me here so that I can follow up. Whoever have, it's fine. You don't need to worry about it. But whoever don't have, please ping me so that I can follow up and make sure that you all have the environment set up. Okay, I'm not sharing the screen here. I'm sorry. Okay. So now what you have to do, you have to go to this. So what I have mentioned earlier is set up IntelliJ with Scala plugin, download Scala, and download Spark. To set up the IntelliJ with Scala plugin, make sure first you have the JDK, and then if you want to download Scala as part of the second component, if you want to download Scala, and also you have to download FBT. Okay, this is different, and these 3 are different. Make sure you understand that if you have IntelliJ with Scala plugin, you don't need to set up the rest of the 3. They are not mandatory. But if you set up, they can come handy in some scenarios. Anyway, first priority is to set up IntelliJ with Scala plugin. So if you go to scalalang.org download, this is the URL. Okay. And here, if you want to download Scala without IntelliJ, just plain Scala, you have to click on all downloads. Okay, sorry, I share it to only one person. Yeah, this is the link. And you should download 2.10.6. That is the most stable version with Spark. Okay, so this is the URL. I think if you go to this directly, you will get it 2.10.6 itself. Okay, so once you download 2.10.6, just stay. I will actually tell you how to set up. Then to set up IntelliJ, scroll down a little bit and see the third option. Install one of the Scala IDEs. And there are either Scala IDE based on Eclipse, there is IntelliJ IDEA with the Scala plugin, and NetBeans IDE, etc. So you have to click on this IntelliJ IDEA with the Scala plugin. Okay, and then you have to download. Okay, just to download the community version, no need of Ultimate. So this is the link. Okay, and just click on download. If it is Windows, I think it will choose .exe or MSI. If it is Mac, it will choose .dmg. And now you see it is being downloading. It will take some time for you to download. Okay, so make sure you download both Scala, IntelliJ, and also Spark. So Scala, you have to download 2.10.6. IntelliJ with Scala plugin, we will choose the, means there is no necessity of choosing the version. So whatever is latest, you can set up. And also, you need to download SBT 0.13 and Spark 1.6.2. These are the versions which we are going to use.
These are the running versions of the
Means we will be developing all the programs against these versions. So this is the version which is available with most of the leading distributions, Cloudera, Hortonworks, etc. So we have to be in line with the version they are using. Okay, latest Scala is 2.12, but we are still using 2.10.6.
so I installed 2.11.
That is fine. So IntelliJ, right?
No, Scala.
Scala, that is fine. We will not be using that extensively. If you want, you can download 2.10.6 also, and I will tell you how to switch between the versions effectively. Just download 2.10.6. Okay, so you have to download community version. Means Ultimate, you can go for 30-day trial, and if you can buy the subscription, it doesn't matter whether you go for Ultimate or community version. It's up to you. I have the community version, Madhav. Yeah. So it will take time to download. So far, I have covered IntelliJ and Scala. Now we have to download SBT. Okay. So open another tab and say download SBT 0.13. SBT is a Scala-based build tool. It is called as a simple build tool. It is the most popular build tool with respect to Scala. Even though we can use Maven to build Scala-based applications, it is recommended to use SBT, not Maven. What is it, Madhav? I didn't get you. I didn't get your statement. Windows. Anyway, so to download SBT, you just search for SBT 0.13. Okay, and if it is Mac, you have to use brew install or port install using homebrew or Mac ports. And also, you can actually download the zip file and set it up by unzipping and setting up the paths appropriately. So for Windows, there is a MSI also. Let me search for that. SBT download Windows. Okay, let me click on this. I don't know why it is taking. I think because it is Mac, it is automatically choosing these things. There should be a way. Let me figure it out. Download link. You got it? Yeah. Abhishek will ping it on. Yes. Yeah. So if you are using Windows, if you go to this link which Abhishek have shared for SBT, it will take you to MSI. So there will be MSI file, and you can use that. You can download the MSI file for SBT. So just download MSI file for SBT, MSI file for Scala 2.10.6. Abhishek have just pinged it to everyone. And IntelliJ, yes, as Madhav have mentioned, it should be exe file. You should download and means start downloading. Installation part I will explain a little bit later. Once you download IntelliJ, Scala, SBT, you also have to download Spark. Okay, so fourth one is download Spark 1.6.2. Okay, so it will take you to the Spark URL. So this is the URL. Here, it takes the latest version of Spark, but we are actually using 1.6.2. You can choose 1.6.3 also. There are no major differences between the two. I will be using 1.6.2. There is a reason why I am using 1.6.2, and I will explain later. Okay, once you choose 1.6.2 and choose for pre-built for Hadoop 2.6, you will get the link here. And then you have to click on this to download the Spark. So to download all these things, it will take some time. Okay, so just start downloads. Once you confirm you have downloaded all the 4 tools, IntelliJ with a Scala plugin, Scala itself, SBT, as well as Spark. Once you confirm that you guys have started downloading all the 4 softwares, I will move on to the next step. While it is downloading, I will try to cover something else. Okay. So meanwhile, I will set up the lab access. Okay. Yeah, I will. Just give me a moment. Okay, I'm stopping sharing the WebEx. What is the name? Again? Okay. So have you signed up to labs.itworks.com yet? Okay, go to labs.itworks.com. So I'm helping one the student who is here to set up the lab. Meanwhile, you can confirm that you have started the downloading of all the 4 softwares. Yeah, you just Google. I will set up the lab access for you. Also, right?
Are you connected to Wi-Fi?
Yes.
You are connected.
Now just refresh. Let me get what.
You came from Chennai, right?
Yes.
Okay. So now let's get started with Scala. While it is downloading, we will take care of setting up the environment slowly as we proceed. We don't need environment. We can log on to the lab and we can practice. Okay. So let me go to the PPT. Okay. So there is a guy called Jatin. He is actually a Scala evangelist based out of Hyderabad. I'm using his material to explain Scala. It's pretty extensive. I will be focusing only the stuff which is required for Spark. I will not be covering all the aspects of Scala because Scala in itself is a complete programming language, and there are too many concepts, too many jargon, and we don't need to get into all those things. From data processing perspective, we just need to understand basic programming constructs. And Scala is a functional programming language, so you should understand how we can write programs in Scala in a functional programming manner rather than
Screenshot.
yeah. Oh, Google, huh?
Oh, yeah, that's-
Even Google is dropped. Yeah, sorry for the folks on Hangout. I don't know when it got dropped, but anyway, you haven't lost much of the important stuff. Okay, it's been a while. I think it is almost 15 minutes, but it's okay. It's only primarily the setting up the environment. We are about to start the fun just now. So let me share the screen on WebEx. Okay. So just mute. I will mute you. Okay. So we are going to the. Hello. Hello. Why it is coming even though I'm muted? I don't know. Don't unmute. Probably what you can do is you can reduce the volume completely. Yeah, then it should be fine. Yeah. So let's get started. So I have downloaded the PPTs already. So I'll be using those PPTs. I will share the link with you later for the PPTs. Okay, let me download again. I think I Jatin Puri Scala GitHub. So this is the repository where he actually stored the slides, and I'll be using this. So what you have to do is you just copy this link. I will give you the location and all in a moment. Don't worry about it. So either you can download it as zip file and unzip wherever you want, or if you have Git already, you can just say git clone and you can use this link. Okay, so first go to that link. If you want to download, you have to go to that link and download the zip file and unzip it wherever you are. Or you can use git clone and this link directly, and it will clone to your local repository. Once you clone or unzip, there will be a directory called hands-on, and it will have slides. Okay, so you can go to that location from the Explorer. Scala materials, Scala hands-on slides, and we'll be covering primarily from day one. And this have an HTML file, index.html. You just have to click on that, and it will get you the slides for Scala. And we'll be using this to cover the Scala portion of it. Okay, so now some background. This is primarily about Jatin. He is a trainer or consultant with Lightbend, and he currently works for DE Shaw and all. And the training schedule with respect to Scala, we will get started with the introduction, and then we will just understand a few important aspects of Scala. There is something called REPL. We will talk about data types, object-oriented programming with Scala, imports and modifiers, singleton objects, case classes, Scala collections. Even in these things, we will skip few of the unimportant stuff, and we'll only focus those areas which are relevant for Spark, regular programming of Spark. Okay, so if you one of the aspects of Java is Java compiles into bytecode, and that bytecode will be executed in JVM. JVM is platform dependent, and code is platform independent. So if you want to run in Linux JVM will understand this bytecode. If you are running on Windows JVM will understand this bytecode. JVM is the abstraction layer between your code and the runtime environment. So Scala is an alternative to Java, wherein and Scala also actually compiles the program into the bytecode only. Okay, even the syntax and semantics is completely different from Java. Scala also compiles into bytecode, and that bytecode will be executed as part of the JVM. And there are other programming languages also similar to Scala: Groovy, JRuby, Jython, Kotlin, Clojure. All these things actually compile your program into bytecode, which can be understood by JVM, and JVM will execute this bytecode. So he is the guy who actually started Scala programming language. And if you want to build the skills, he runs few courses in Coursera.org, which are free. Most of these Scala basic programming language basic courses, unless you need a certification, the courses are completely free. You can go to Coursera.org and search for Scala programming, and most likely his courses will come on the top. You can get into the more detailed aspects of Scala programming if you are interested. So it's fun. Definitely once you understand the different aspects of Scala, it is much more fun than writing in Java. It is fast. It runs on a JVM. Commercially have done decent, especially with the success of Spark. Scala have gained a lot of momentum. It has REPL. REPL means read, execute, print, and loop, which means once you set up Scala, right, after some time, you can run a command called Scala. and hit enter. Once the setup is done, it will take you this interactive command line interface. You might have seen in Linux, SQL Plus for Oracle. Many technologies have this, and the one of the standard word to represent this is REPL, which means that it can read whatever you have given, it can evaluate, and then it will print the output, and it will again wait for your command for instruction, which means it will loop for your instructions. That's what REPL means: read, evaluate, print, and loop. Okay. So here, if I say print hello world and hit enter, so it reads this command, evaluated the command, displayed the output of the command, and then it again prompted me to take another command. So this is called as REPL: read, evaluate, print, and loop. Seamless interoperability with Java, which means that you can use any Java API easily. You just have to add the Java files to the class path, and you can use any Java program with Scala. Okay. So now we will talk about REPL. As I have mentioned, you can type Scala and it will start the REPL. So here, please confirm that you guys have set up the Scala download is done. Then I will tell you the instructions about how to set up the environment. For Windows, you should have downloaded the MSI, right? So if you go to the Scala download page, Scala download, I asked you to download 2.10.6, right? So if you download 2.10.6 and then click on this, it is approximately 29 MB. So by this time, you should have it downloaded, right? So if it is Windows, you just double click on the MSI, and you can run Scala from anywhere, either by using Cygwin or your DOS prompt. You can access Scala from anywhere. So open your DOS prompt and run Scala if it is Windows environment, and make sure that it is actually launching the prompt without any issues. Okay, if there are any issues, let us troubleshoot and fix those issues. So I will give a minute or two here to confirm that you install that MSI and launch the Scala. For guys who have Mac, to come out of Scala, you just have to give colon quit. Okay, so guys who have downloaded using Mac, okay, so it is still downloading. Anyway, I will show the instructions. You copy it to whatever location you want. It will download TGZ file, compressed tar file. You copy it to whatever location you want and run tar xzf and that file name, whatever it is. Okay, then it will untar and it will create a directory. Let me show you the directory. So this is the directory. Okay, so this is the jar file, a tar file, compressed tar file, and I unzipped it and untarred it by saying tar xzf Scala. Even for Linux guys, it's the same thing. You have to download the compressed tar file and you have to run this command tar xzf 2.11.8.tgz. Once you are done with it, okay, so go to the wherever you have downloaded and untarred, create a soft link for your directory, which is unzipped, with the name Scala to it. Okay, so what we are trying to do is we are hiding the complexity of versioning. And it's one of the better practice. It's not mandatory step, but this is one of the better practice so that we can switch between versions easily. Run this command. Once you download and untar, you have to run this command. This is only for guys who are using Mac or Linux. not others. Oh, Madhav is struggling with the screen. Hmm? Yeah, I think Madhav, it's only with you. I don't know, probably internet is slow, or I'm not 100% sure. But for others, it is okay. If you are struggling with WebEx, probably you can hop onto YouTube session in parallel. And in case if you want to ask question, you can come here. Okay. And also, I will at times I will be looking at YouTube also. If you have any questions, I can answer from there also. Okay. So once you create the soft link like this, you have to update your profile. It could be dot profile or dot dash profile, whatever you have configured. If you haven't touched it, it has to be dot profile. If you change it to bash profile, internally you should be aware of it. You update the dot bash profile. In my case, I am updating dot profile. Okay. Here I am creating a environment variable called Scala underscore home. Okay, it is under, this is my location. For you, it could be different. So up to Scala I have given. Okay, and then I am updating my path. Users, sorry, dollar Scala home slash bin. Okay, I will share. What is the issue, Vicky?
No, actually, already I had
2.11.8.
so when I create for another.
Yeah. So you should have either one of them. You cannot have both to the path. If you add both, it will run into issue. Whatever is the latest one will be picked up. Okay, for this previous duration, delete the old one, 2.11.81, and try to point to 2.10.6. Or you can leave it 2.11.8 also. You will not see any much of a difference. When we actually build the applications, we'll use IntelliJ. And there is a command called SBT console. So we will be opening Scala through SBT console, which will use the dependencies defined as part of the project. So if we define 2.10, it will use 2.10. If we define 2.11, it will use 2.11. So no need to change it. Leave it as 2.11.8. Even I am using 2.11.8. Okay, but it is good practice to eliminate version as part of the environment variables. Okay, that way if you have to upgrade later, you don't need to change your environment variables. You just have to create the soft link to the latest version of your software. Okay, so now I will give a couple of minutes time. Everyone is supposed to have Scala on their machine. Okay, and then they should type Scala and hit enter, and then they should get into the Scala without any issues. If any one of you have issues, I will troubleshoot it immediately. Okay. And those who already validated, you guys can start running simple Scala commands.
I don't have the profile file in
Either you will have dot profile or dot dash profile. So you just have to, yeah, you got it. Okay. You will have to open the command prompt and type Scala and hit enter. Now you haven't installed MS-SQL. Have you downloaded or you have installed? Okay, I think you downloaded. Then it should come. Is it MS? So that case, you might have to set up the environment variable. Go to environment variable and update the path to this location. Before doing that, go to the location where you have set up that and run Scala from there. If it is working, then you can set up the environment variable. Okay, so whoever can start the Scala, you can start typing these commands: 1 plus 2, 2 divided by 3. You can use print to print the strings and all those things. Just to get in touch, get familiar yourself with REPL. No, you will not have dot profile here. Okay. Java C. Yeah, you don't have dedicated. First, you need to download dedicated. Yeah. Yeah. 1.8x. Okay. Meanwhile, you can go to the lab. Do you have Putty? Install Putty first, and then you can actually go to the lab and practice until JDK is downloaded and set up. Okay, REPL is very powerful. You can test any code snippet here, and then you can integrate as part of your application. We will see how to create runnables and all those things later, the main programs and all. But you can test your code snippets in an interactive fashion. Okay. So here, if you have to write hello world program in Java, how will you write? You have to first create the class. Then you have to define public static void main, and then you have to say print hello world. Here with REPL, you just have to say print hello world, and that's it. So now what happens when we do this? So internally, what it will do is for this program. So there is something called JVM, and to execute a program, you need to have a main function, which is static. Otherwise, the JVM cannot execute that. And even in case of Java, when you write the class and define public static void main, and then say println hello system.out.println hello world, it will create a bytecode, right? So similar manner, even when you say just print hello world or 1 plus 2 like this, internally Scala will create bytecode exactly same as Java, but your class name and all those things are kind of system generated names, but exactly the same way Java generates bytecode for your program which have the main function. Scala also does the same thing, but it is transparent to you. You don't need to worry too much about it. So when it comes to execution, because it runs in JVM, execution is as fast as it in Java. But compilation, when it comes to Scala, it might take a little bit more time because it has to build the necessary classes and all those things. Whatever is required for JVM bytecode, it has to do some additional work. Okay, so even when you use the REPL, internally it will be creating the classes and it will be deleting when you come out of it to satisfy the requirements for the JVM to execute this program.
After setting that path in that, right, I cannot able to run the Scala.
I will come. So if you are Java developer, you will understand what I'm talking about. If you are not Java developer, don't care about it. You don't need to worry about it. But I'm primarily explaining for the Java developers. Okay, just give me a moment.
is how to run the. Did you update that?
Yeah.
Or you have to log out and log
So if I
in.
shut down the mission again, I need to do it.
You can sign out. Just log out and log in.
No, not log out. So it's done and
Just close this.
close the tab.
Close the tab and we open the tab. And then Scala. Just Scala. Bash profile will load all the. It is nothing but a script. It will be executed whenever you start the session. It didn't work earlier because that session was already started with previous bash profile.
Okay.
So you have to run the program to reflect. Yeah. You have to download 64 version. Yeah, 64 version. Yeah, so log into the lab. You got the putty, right? So first go to labs.itversity.com. This is the username, Gautam26 India. So go to putty. gw01.itversity.com. GW, not O. .itversity.com. Open. Click on yes. Username, that's Gautam. Okay, and the password you have to copy from here. Use shift insert to paste. Okay. Shift insert. Yeah. So now you can just write Scala. Okay. So if you see here, I said 1 plus 2. I think everyone tested Scala. If anyone did not, let me know. Okay, so there are few questions here. Let me take those things. Okay, so Shravani is fine. Raju, is it required to install Scala in home machine, or we can use in lab to install putty, as I have some issues to install, like space and RAM issues, so it will take time. Yes, you can actually temporarily access from the lab, but IntelliJ is a must. Other things you can skip. Okay, but IntelliJ is must. You have to install IntelliJ, otherwise you will have some challenges to develop the program. To develop the programs, you have to clean up your machine, and you have to make sure that you have set up IntelliJ. And Madhav, I am unable to do. So I need to understand what you are unable to do so that I can get you the resolution. Are you talking about unable to run Scala command? Can you stop video streaming? Yeah. Hey, Madhav or Mohit. Can you hear me, Mohit? Hello, Mohit. Can you hear me? Are you there? So some on YouTube live, they're asking the duration for the session. It will go till 6. This one will take break at 1:15 time frame, and I will stop this and I will start again at post lunch around 2 to 2:15. Okay, and it's a 3-day session. We just started today.
Okay. So meanwhile, Mohit, what is the issue? I could not get what the issue is. Or Madhav? You can unmute yourself, Madhav, if you want to ask question directly. Also, at any point, anyone, if you have any question, you can just unmute yourself and ask the question. Okay, I think Madhav got disconnected. Okay, so let's proceed with Scala. So here are a few more examples. So one thing you need to understand is whenever we add, right, like 1 plus 2, it is creating a internal variable or implicit variable of type integer. So here what you need to understand is, and depending upon the result, it will determine the data type of the this implicit variable which is created after adding after this expression. Okay, if you say 2.0 divided by 5, it says double something. So it is smart enough to inherit the data type. But internally, when it actually creates the bytecode, whatever declarations needs to be done, it will take care of those things. But that is abstracted to the developer by the Scala compiler. Okay. So we can also give the names to the variables if you are interested. Sorry. One minute. Yeah. So if you here we are trying to create the variables, and when it comes to creating the variables, defining the data type is not mandatory in Scala. Okay, because it can inherit based on the expression. But you have to tell whether the variable is mutable or immutable. There is no default. You have to tell whether it is mutable or immutable. So for all practical purposes, the best practice is to use immutable variables. But when it comes to Java, not everything is immutable. Unless you define it as final, the variable is mutable. So here, there is no default. Okay, and it is recommended to use immutable variables wherever you have to. And the way you can define a variable as immutable is by saying val a equal to 2. Okay, because 2 is of type integer, the data type of a is integer. But if you try to reassign, once the variable is created as immutable, if you try to reassign by saying a equal to 3, it will fail because the variable is immutable. But if you define again val and then say a equal to 3, it will destroy the old immutable variable and it will create new one. Okay. So immutable means once you assign the value by defining it as val, you cannot override that at any point in time. But you can, as part of the program, you cannot define two variables with the same name. But here REPL, each individual command is different. Hence it is taking. Otherwise, it would have complained. Compiler would have complained if in the same program if we define val yet twice. Okay. Now, if you want to define a variable as mutable, you can say var a equal to 1. Now it is a mutable variable. Hence, we can assign at any point in time. It means we can reassign some other value any point in time. If you have to test these things as one unit, you can say column print. Not column, column help, column paste. Okay. So if you type column paste, you can enter multiple lines of code. So now if you say val a equal to 3 and a equal to 4, and then again val a equal to 5. To finish this, you have to do control D. If you see here, because this entire thing is running as one unit, it is complaining at val a equal to 5 also, because it is already in use. Okay, but if you run as individual commands, it will override. Okay, similarly, if you again do paste and say val a equal to 2, a plus equal to 2, and print a and control D. Sorry, I have to put it in the bracket. Control D. Now you see it executed and it has given the results here. This 4 is because we have a plus equal to 2 here. It is REPL, so it is showing results twice. Okay, so if you want to test multiple lines of code as one unit, you have to use colon paste. And to get other options, you can say colon help. And there are a few other options which I also have not explored much. We will see one of the important command called Java P little bit later. Otherwise, we typically don't use most of the other stuff. If you want, you can explore. You can actually save the entire session by saying colon save. That is one important command. And you can get the history by saying colon history. Okay. So these are all handy commands. Colon paste to write multiple lines of code as one unit. Colon history to get the history. Colon save to save the entire session into a file.
After print multiple lines,
You have to hit Control D to come out of it, and in the paste mode, right? So if you type paste, see here, it is saying entering paste mode, Control D to finish. So whenever you are done with your program, you have to hit Control D. Okay. So whatever we are seeing, inheriting or if you observe, we are not explicitly giving the data types, right? It is called as inference. So there is a type inference. The inference will be depending upon the output of the expression which we are trying to do. For example, let's say you have variable val b equal to 2, and then you define a equal to b into 2. Okay, so a is holding the result of an expression b multiplied by 2, and even then it actually inherited the inference into data type based upon the expression. Okay, so we can type if you want to develop multi-line statements, you have to go to the paste mode and you can actually do a while loop like this. I will cover this condition and while loop in a while, and then I will give an exercise to you. Okay. So now we will check the how to write the conditions. You can say paste here, and let's say if let us define val b equal to 2 and val a equal to b into 2, and if you want to print if you want to write if condition and take care of certain things, you can say if b mod 2 equal to 0, okay, print even, else print odd. Okay, and then hit Control D. It has printed the even here because we have these. It is also showing the results from these also. Okay, but here you can see we are trying to get whether it is even or odd. Okay, so like this you can develop the if condition. So when it comes to Scala, there is no ternary operator with question mark and colon. So ternary operator will look like this only. Okay, you will write in the form of if else condition only. If you write it in one line, it is a kind of a ternary operator. Okay, now if you want to do while loop, let's say I pass a number and I want to print all the even numbers. Okay, so again I can set column paste and then val a equal to 100 while, okay, I have to give var so that I can, no, actually it's fine. Val a equal to 100, var counter equal to 1. So from 1 to 100, I want to print all the even numbers while count less than or equal to a. If you have only one line, just hit enter and type it like the way in Java. If you have multiple lines, you can start with curly braces, and now you can say if a mod, sorry, count mod 2 equal to 0, print cnt, else we just have to say count plus equal to 1. Okay, I have to say println so that it prints in different lines. Let me do this. I will give few exercises. Let me just show. Okay, now we got the numbers in even. Okay, so similarly, you can write for the same thing in for loop also. Val a equal to 100, val count equal to 1, and then for it is a little bit tricky. Let me take another example for. I forgot the syntax. Scala for iterate. Yeah, so it is like this. Okay. First, count 1 to 100. Okay, if count mod 2 equal to 0, print and then count. Okay, so that is how you can actually write the for loop. But you should not write like this. This is not functional way of programming. This is traditional way of programming. This is the standard syntax for traditional programming. Scala provides a lot of APIs where you can translate this into a functional way of programming, and we will be using functional way of programming as we proceed. But this is how basic if condition, while loop, and for loop is written. So this is the example of while and if condition. This is the example of ternary operator, and then this is the example of for loop and if condition. Okay. So now you can take this exercise. I will give approximately 5 minutes of time. You have to create a val that is double by name rand. The value should be a random number in between 0 and 100. Okay, so you have to generate a random number. You can use math.random to get random number between 0 and 1. Create another value greater than 5, and it should be of type boolean. The value of this variable must be true if rand is greater than 0 or equal to 5. Else you should return false. Okay, create another val is blue that must be blue string if greater than 5 is true, else red. If else is itself also an expression. So it's just a statement. So try to do this simple exercise about if else so that you get better control on programming using Scala. Someone in YouTube Live is asking, can we access the relevant notebook for this training? I don't know what is relevant notebook. If you can elaborate, I can confirm. Okay. And also those who are online, this is a 3-day workshop. If you guys want to be part of this workshop, and if you want to do exercises in timely manner, and also if you want to be part of this WebEx session, in case if you have any questions, you just have to sign up to the lab for 6 months and send me the email at training@itvarsity.com that you have signed up for the lab, and I will give access to the WebEx also, and you can ask questions directly over there. Training is free for online folks. Only thing is you should sign up for the lab. Today I will be covering Scala, which is relevant from Spark perspective. Tomorrow and after tomorrow it will be Spark, and the curriculum is sufficient for most of the certifications. In all the certifications, developer certifications, wherever Scala is involved, especially from Cloudera and Hotworks, I am trying to cover all those aspects. I will explain that in a while as we proceed. So far I have told to download IntelliJ with Scala plugin, download and set up Scala, download SBT, and download Spark. Okay, only Scala we have downloaded and set up. SBT and Spark you should have downloaded already along with IntelliJ, and I will explain how to set those things up as we proceed. So we'll take break at 11:45 for 5 minutes, 5 to 10 minutes. Lunch break we'll take at 1:15 for today. I'll be right back, okay?
Once I tried to assume that value ran to match up, it's not getting.
So you guys have done it.
So you guys can take 5 to 10 minutes break. We'll catch up again at 11:55, and then we'll break at 1:15 for lunch. So those who are online, you guys also can take 10 minutes break. We'll catch up at 11:55 a.m. India time, and then we'll proceed further.
Will you show us that program?
Yeah, I will. It's pretty straightforward. So I will develop the program. I will explain how to develop and all those things. Yeah, 11:55. Yeah, I will do that. Once we. Yeah. So scope is previous one. Kafka is they are primarily focused on Flume and Spark streaming. Okay, because see what they're saying is you can use whatever technology you want. Yeah, so I have included the relevant portions of Kafka also. Okay, so I will share the videos with you. Once you are done with this, you can actually go through those videos. And also on final day, I will be doing demonstration on Flume plus Kafka plus Spark streaming. So that also will be taken care. So when do you get the complete yes, by next week it will be done. Yeah. Actually, 3 videos are there. Kafka, 2 hours, 3 videos. So next week probably. Yeah. Yeah. I'm also waiting. I will take the exam so that I can do the experience with the people.
So right now, when that moment you got the new.
What I have heard, so one of the Cloudera guy is actually following us on the forum, discuss.itworks.com. So there, for some of the question, he told that if you sign up for April, most likely will get the new syllabus, new curriculum. Before that, he cannot guarantee whether people will get old or new.
One for copy.
Yeah.
I think there's copy here.
And also, right, if the same guy who responded, he told that they will not evaluate the uh, the program. They only evaluate the results. So when they say they only evaluate the results, they will not care what you are using as part of the configurations. But uh, probably uh, what they might want to ensure is that you understand how to set the configuration.
Usually the admins will be there.
No.
From yarn and all, like design.
No, they are not asking about yarn and all. They are asking about while running your program, both admins as well as developers should know these things.
I didn't know how to consume for the past 4 months
Okay.
for master time. So the same issue will be facing the public users. So our SaaS users will be processing bulks of data. They'll split the files and they'll be giving for each and every run they'll run for 100. And for every time they'll be getting out of memory.
Okay.
So they won't be aware of the memory getting filled. Then simply say like Hadoop side is of scale.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
once when we check, like we'll have to say this number of registers. So they won't be aware of it. what they think is like it is your admin job.
Yeah, it's not admin job completely. Especially number of reducers. How admins will know? Developers are the one who is supposed to know how many number of reducers they should use. Before,
And quantifies to
yeah, I know that you have been touching me. I thought it's him. You have been. I just mentioned to Sadiq that this guy is touching me for a couple of months. But glad that you showed so much of interest. Actually, you are not. You don't need to come here.
thought like live will be good.
Yeah.
I just said as a medical purpose. I didn't say I'm going for workshop.
Okay.
Your IT university channel is not a great impact. They won't be knowing your name, but they're saying in YouTube that's a guy in IT university. See serious people.
Okay. Okay, then let's get started. So let me create this program real quick. What they are saying is create a val that is double by name rand. Okay, so val rand, and here the value should be a random number in between 0 and 100. Okay, so using math, so first let us see what is this math dot random. It will just generate some random fraction between 0 and 1. Okay, now using this number, we want to generate a random number which will be between 0 and 100. So for that, what we have to do, math dot random multiplied by 100. Okay, so we have to start with that. Let me copy this, and then create another variable greater than 5. So val greater than 5 if the rand is between 0 and 5, you have to return true, otherwise you have to return false. So if rand rand is less than or equal to 5, return true, else return false. And also we have to create a variable called is blue, and if greater than 5 is true, and then print just return blue, else red. Okay, and that is how you can write the program. It has generated 7.9 as it is greater than 5. Greater than 5 returns false. Because it returns false, is blue returned red. Okay, the key is math.random into 100 to generate some number between 0 and 100. And math.random is a core Scala function which will generate some random decimal between 0 and 1. Okay, so let me paste this code in the chat. Now let us get on to the basic data types. So Scala have all these data types: byte, short, int, long, char, string, float, double, boolean. Okay, unless specified, it considers an integer as int, which starts with capital I. We can also specify type like this. Okay, any of these types we can specify. So comparing with Java, you have primitive types as well as uh, primitive types in the sense int, string, not string, um, int, float, double. All these things are primitive types, and also you have classes like integer, float, double, etc. All start with capitals. So there is no such thing in Scala. You have only classes such as int, short, float, double, as we have seen in the previous slide. But internally, depending upon the way you are using, if it has to use primitives, it will use primitives. Otherwise, it will use as regular classes. For example, what class like integer will provide, it will provide a set of methods to take care of certain aspects of integers, right? For example, if you have a string, and if you want, if you have a string which have numeric values, so let's say you have something like this, val x equal to 100. Even though it is a string, it has some integer value in that. So what classes like integer and all will do, they provide methods such as get, where you can pass a string and get the if it is number value, it will give you the number. Otherwise, it will give you an exception saying that it's an invalid number, something like that, right? So otherwise, if you just want to add values and all those things, primitive types are enough. You don't need to use the special types. So in Scala, you don't have the differentiation of primitive types and the classes. You have classes only. But internally, if you add two integers, the bytecode will be using the same way as you are using primitives in Java. If you are using methods like .get, internally it will behave as if we are using .get method on an integer class. So it is abstracted from you, okay? But yet it is as powerful as Java, because wherever it needs to be treated as primitive, it will treat it as primitive. Otherwise, it will treat as regular class. And these are called as value classes. All these things which behave as primitives in some cases and which behave as typical classes, these are called as value classes. And most of the primitive types are value classes. Okay, and you can create hexadecimal by saying 0x, hexadecimal numbers. So this is another task which you can take care of. It's pretty straightforward. Okay, but before you do this, so far we have been using REPL. Okay, now we will try to set up IntelliJ. By now, everyone should have downloaded IntelliJ, right? So once you, anyone just downloaded for the first time, because I want to use their environment. Yeah. You? Okay. I will use this because this is Windows, and a lot of guys are Windows guys. So I will use this. You are on WebEx, right? So I'm sharing the screen of Gautam. I'm making him presenter. So you can share the screen. Go to quick start. Go to quick start. Share screen. Okay, follow me closely. You have set up JDK, right? You have installed, and okay, I will make sure. I'm taking the control. You are installing now. Okay. I think installation is not done. Okay. Not getting control. You gave me the control. So we'll perform this task using IntelliJ, and we can actually access the REPL in IntelliJ also, and we will use that. Close it. Okay, now where is your IntelliJ? Is it in downloads? So once you download the IntelliJ, oh, it is not downloaded yet. Where, which browser you are using? It is not downloaded yet completely. Yeah. So we try. It's almost done. So just wait for a minute or so. No, no. What task is? Yeah, yeah. So Gautam is asking whether these will be available as part of the certification exam. The answer is yes. I will cover the details later. Once we probably by the end of today, you will understand what will be available and all those things. And also, once they announce, once someone confirms that the exam will be using new curriculum, I will take the exam, and also I'm planning to set up a 6-node Cloudera cluster, but using VMs. It is just complementary. We will not be supporting as we support the Cosmos, but you guys will have Cloudera cluster, Mapper cluster, Cassandra cluster, MongoDB cluster, everything. So once you get the download, just double click on it and start the installation. Use the defaults, and everyone just follow and finish these steps. Whoever is setting up new for the first time, please do so. Okay, just you leave the defaults and just click on install. And when it prompted to create the desktop icon, choose 64-bit if you want desktop icon. Don't choose 32-bit. What is the RAM? I hope everyone started the installation. I think it might take some time. Yeah, now it is picking up. It got faster. So you started installation? So where are you staying? Do you have friends? Friends. Okay, I hope everyone is almost done with the installation. If anyone is a lot behind, let me know. I will wait until your installation is done because the next step is very important. Okay, now the installation is done. If you want to run IntelliJ directly, you can choose this and click on finish. Otherwise, if you forget to choose that, you have to go back and start it. Okay, so this is the first time. So click on OK. We are not trying to import any settings. Click on accept on the privacy policy. And oh, you downloaded the ultimate edition. I think you have downloaded the ultimate edition. So here I am saying evaluate for free. Click on evaluate and click on accept. Just give me a moment, okay? Hello? Hello? Okay. Okay, then I'll talk to you again. Bye. Sorry, I need to take that call. So here, um, what you have to do is, okay, this one is a little bit different. Anyway, click on default plugins. Okay, you actually installed the Ultimate. So anyone have community edition, so that I show it on community edition and take it from there. I can show on Ultimate also, but with community edition it's a little bit different, and I want to show it on community edition.
Once click on this, configure this also.
Okay.
And keep that and set defaults. Left one.
Okay. Skip all and set defaults. Okay.
After that, when you're configuring, you can install the Scala plugin.
Okay.
Same thing.
Okay. Okay. So if you download, that's correct. If you download community edition, it will take you to this. Okay. If you download the Ultimate edition, in the first page, just skip and use defaults, and then you will come to here. Okay. Please confirm that you all are here. I will give 30 seconds time, because this is very important to make sure the plugin is installed and all those things. I'll give 30 seconds time. If you are not here, I will wait. Okay. Otherwise, we will proceed further. Make sure you all are under this window. Whoever is setting up for the first time, make sure you are on this window, and then I will show what needs to be done. Okay, I think everyone is on this window. So I am taking it further. So click on configure and go to plugins. Okay. Once you go to plugins, here you can search for Scala. Okay. What is that? Actually, okay. If you download from the Scala IntelliJ, you will get Scala here. But I think you did not get it from there. That's fine. Yeah. So you can search from the repositories and use Scala here, and then click on install. If you use Community Edition from the Scala page, it will automatically have the Scala here in the repository. Okay, but if you download IntelliJ directly, you can search for Scala in the repositories, and you will get. You have to choose this, and then click on install. Okay, now it will download the Scala binaries, and it will add. It will get added to IntelliJ. If anyone want to set up on Eclipse, it's a little bit different, but I will provide you resources towards the end of the class. Okay, we'll proceed with IntelliJ because it is much faster using IntelliJ compared to Eclipse, then Scala, then SBT. You have to set up all these things manually.
So what is the recommended IDE to
Anything is fine. You have to resolve those issues and move on. So if you already have Eclipse, if you are using Eclipse as part of your project, use Eclipse. If you want to use IntelliJ, you can use IntelliJ. But it all depends upon what your team is using, not your personal choice. As a team, whatever IntelliJ is licensed, right? It's not free unless you go with Community Edition, and Community Edition will lack a lot of features. So
if the team has asked me to recommend the IDE, then can we look for the SBT or IDE?
SBT is not IDE. SBT is just a build tool. So you have choice of IntelliJ or Eclipse, and in Eclipse also there are many variations. Okay, if you was in the Java team, and if you are using Spring-based frameworks, typically people use STS, Spring Tool Suite, which is nothing but Eclipse with all the Spring-based plugins. And then you have to set up Scala into that, and you can start using it. With respect to SBT, you have to take care of certain things manually, but you can integrate Scala and SBT to STS. So it all depends upon what your team want to use. If it is a completely new team, if they don't have any tool set up, probably IntelliJ is much better than Eclipse because it's a licensed version. If company is willing to pay, or if they got licenses, you can go with IntelliJ. Otherwise, you can start with Eclipse, depending upon your project requirements. Okay, so once you install, you can click on this Restart IntelliJ IDEA, and then click on Restart. Now the IntelliJ will be restarted. Why it is not restarting? Okay, now you can click on Create New Project. Okay, once the once you set up Scala, you can click on create new project. And here in Java also you will see Scala option, especially if you use community edition. After setting up Scala, you will see Scala option as part of the Java project. But don't use this. Don't use Scala under Java. Rather, you have to choose Scala as the main thing. And in that, you have options of SBT, Activator, IDEA, Play2X. I think with commutation, you will get only few of them. Here, we are trying to develop Spark-based applications in future. If you want to develop web applications, probably Play2X is a better option. But for our purpose, we'll choose SBT. Okay, SBT is nothing but a build tool to build the source code into a jar file, and it is required. So we are trying to create the SBT based project. Okay, here you can give the name of the project. So let us name it as Hello World, or getting started, whatever name you want to give. Okay, here we have to give the JDK path. It should actually pick the ticket. I don't know why it didn't.
It is not installed now.
He installed actually. Yeah. So if it didn't pick, you just have to choose the JDK. In this case, I picked it manually. I think you can also expand this, probably it might pick up automatically. Anyway, so make sure you pick up the JDK. And then SBT, use 0.13.13. Don't use the latest version of SBT. And Scala, we will be using 2.10.6. Okay, for all practical purposes in future, we'll be using 2.10.6. So make sure you select this one. Okay, so give the name to the project. This is the default location. If you want to customize, you can customize to a different location. And then make sure you choose the JDK of 1.8 or later. SBT choose 0.13 and Scala 2.10.6. Okay. Make sure you choose all these things. And then finish. Okay, now it is setting up the project for you. So if anyone could not set it up, let me know. I will troubleshoot and take care of it. It will take some time. See here, it is saying two process running. So it will take some time to set it up completely. Okay, meanwhile, let me set up additional YouTube session for the afternoon. Sorry. So one of the question from Berkat is, how can I connect the lab console with my IntelliJ SBT? Just I need the port host name as example. I want to test the Kafka Twitter code. It is not very straightforward. You can take care of certain things like that, but in some cases it is not possible. Okay, we will see that on the third day. If you join on the third day, I will try to get this thing resolved, because we are still on the Scala level. I don't want to take questions on Spark at this time. Okay, and Ratnam is asking for the schedule. So today it will be purely Scala, and tomorrow and after tomorrow it will be Spark. Tomorrow mainly core Spark, and on Sunday whatever is the remaining on the core Spark, and then we will cover Spark SQL. And towards the end of the day, we will be covering Spark streaming along with Flume and Kafka. That is the schedule. Okay, so let me. The setup is still running? So let me set up afternoon session in YouTube. It should be 3 events. Why it is only showing 1? Interesting. I have created 3 events last night. It is only showing 1 now. Okay, I know. It is filtered on live now. That's fine. Now you will see. Yeah. So today I will set it up for 2:15 p.m. It will be approximately that time. So whoever have joined in the morning session, if you want to continue in the afternoon session, make sure you come around 2:15 p.m. We'll break for lunch around 1:15. Okay, I think his setup is done. Now still it is going on. I think it is a little bit on slower side. Okay. So while it is doing, let's proceed further. We'll come back to this task a little bit later once the setup is done. Okay. Now we will get into the object-oriented concepts in Scala. So building blocks are classes and traits, but I will not be covering the traits. And also there is something called singleton objects, which are considered to be first class. So we'll be covering classes, and there are special type of classes called the case classes. Okay, I got it. Thank you. So I'm changing the parental, and I'm sharing the screen now. Okay, we are starting with object-oriented. Everything is object. There are no primitives. Every operation is a method call. Building blocks are classes and traits. Traits are similar to interfaces, a little bit powerful than interfaces. We will not be getting into traits, but we will be covering classes, a special type of classes called case classes, and then we will also see objects and also how these are correlated. Okay, so class syntax is like this. You can say class animal, and you can actually create an object. And REPL by default prints the toString value. toString is nothing but the object's binary address, object's address. I think in-memory address or something. Okay, and you can actually define the constructor. like in Java, how will we do if we create class? Let us take more appropriate example. Let's say I want to create class called department. Okay, and in this, what you will do, you will create a constructor like this, department, and then you will say do whatever you want as part of the constructor. This is the Java way of doing. Okay, but in Scala, you will not define the default constructor like this. Okay, the way it will look is, you will say class department. Okay, and let me take some other example. Yeah, department only, department, and we will be using something called retail DB as part of our most of the exercises. And the department is one of the table in that, and it has only two fields: department ID and department name. So in this case, for our purpose, if we want to create a class to store the to store it as an object and then write the DAO layer to store in the database, let us create a object for that. So as it has two fields, the default constructor, when you define the class, you can create two variables as part of the class definition itself. So in this case, I am saying department ID, it is of type integer, and department name, it is of type string. So these two are kind of constructor variables in Java. Okay, and whatever code you write here will be part of your constructor code. This will be the default constructor. So now let me write some code here. Print ln. Here is the department ID. And when you actually write the code in Scala, you don't need to end each line with semicolon. It's optional. Okay, and also I want to print department name. Okay, that is what I want to do as part of the constructor. I don't want to do anything else. And then hit enter. Now the class is created. Okay, and as part of this class, we have to pass two parameters, two arguments. Without satisfying these two arguments, you cannot invoke, you cannot create the objects of type department. So the way you do it is val d equal to new department, and then you can give the department ID as 1, and department name is fan_, and hit enter. Now you see what we have done. Okay, let me do this. Here, let me put the colon and space. Okay, now if I create the object, you see the department number ID and department name are printed. Okay, so what it is doing, it is invoking, and if you want to see how it is represented internally for the execution of as for executing it in JVM, you can run this command called java p -P, and then give the class name, which is department. I think yeah, -P, small p. So now what internally how it is generating the code like this. So there is a class called department, and there is a constructor, the default constructor with the name of the class, and then it is taking two arguments. So these two arguments are nothing but constructor arguments. Okay, And whatever logic you have as part of the definition while defining the class is considered to be default constructor logic. If you have methods at the time of compilation, what it will do, it will segregate all the method and the corresponding logic within those methods. And then wherever there is a code, that code will be part of this constructor. And then you will see additional methods. So now let me copy this one. And then let me create a method. So the way you can define the methods is by using def. We will get back to creating functions and all a little bit later. But this is how you typically create the functions. Def, let us say, is valid. Okay, and there are around 7 departments. If someone try to create the object of department which does not fall in that category, let's say we want to say it is not valid. So for that, what we have to do, we have to pass the department name as the string, as the argument. So department name, let us say D itself. I think let us see. And then let us return the Boolean type. Return type is Boolean here, equal to if department name I think we can actually say like this, not equal to. Let's say we have only one department. It is transform. Okay, I want to print invalid department name. Okay, and then close this and then close. Okay, I have to return. Yeah. So here I have to return whether true or false. Return false. Else. Return also not mandatory. So in this case I just say true. In this case I just return false, and in this case I return true. Okay, let's see if it works. No. So if you see, return is not mandatory. Even if you don't specify return, whatever you are specifying as the final returnable thing, as long as the data types match, it will work. Okay. Now, if you look at the Java P output, I will take the question. There seems to be a question. I will just take the question. If you take this Java P output, you see it has created a class name, department, and then it added one more variable, department name. Even though we did not specify, it actually created this additional variable because we are trying to access it as part of this function. And then it has created the method Boolean is valid, and then the default constructor. Okay. So what it have done, whatever you have as part of the body of your class, except for the method definitions and all, it is making the rest of the code part of the constructor. Okay, now let us create Okay, and let us check whether it is valid. It is valid because we are passing as fans of. Now let us do something else. Goals. Now if I say is valid, it's false. Okay. So this is how you can write. The main thing, the main takeaway here is what is the actual default constructor logic. The default constructor logic is nothing but what you have specified while defining the class. Okay. So there seems to be a question. Let me take that question. So we can take some initial val and assign it to false, then return the val. What is this about Karan? I didn't get the question completely. Is it done? Okay. So I hope we will. I will take that question later, Karan. Okay, okay, I got it. It's fine. It's fine. I got your point. So let us share the screen of Gautam and complete the setup process. I hope you got what is class, what is the constructor logic, and how it will segregate the rest of the functions and execute whatever is there as part of the body as constructor. If you see here, when I created the program, it ended with this function. Right? If you have additional lines of code after this function, even that will be considered to be part of the constructor. Wherever it sees the methods, it will separate them out into a separate method, and rest of the logic, which is scattered across the body at the time of defining the class, will be part of your constructor logic. Okay, it's very important to understand. So now I'm making Gautam as presenter, and make sure that we start using IntelliJ. Can you change the screen? Okay, I hope you guys can see Gautam's screen. Once the project is set up, you will get something like this. Okay, and here it is the default SBT based project layout. You will get a build.sbt under the directory um, which is named after your project, and then you will have source directory and external libraries. Okay, so the source directory will have a main and then Scala, and this is where you can start writing the Scala based classes, objects, etc., which we will see a little bit later. On top of writing programs, there is something called, if you go to new, so if you want to create classes, objects, etc., you can click on this Scala class and you can start creating objects and classes. But we have seen REPL, right? So if you want to execute the REPL, you can go to the Scala worksheet here. Okay, and click on it. Give a name to the Scala worksheet. I'm giving it as hello world.sc and hit enter. Now you are in the Scala worksheet. Okay, so here you can write the code the way you have done in REPL. Okay, so let's say val I equal to 2 plus 3, and when you save it, automatically it will give you the results on the right side. So here it is not showing because I'm not doing print or something else. So let us print I. Okay, I think even without this, it should be printed. Yeah, it was building. That's why it just took time. So even if I save this, remove this, and Control S, yeah, it will show the results. If you want to print again, you can see it here. Okay, so this is how you can write the code in Scala worksheet, simulating the REPL. Okay, there is another way of simulating the REPL. That is, you can go to new, and then it's Scala script. I think Scala, no, not Scala script. New Scala class, transfer package. It should be something like Scala terminal. Or I think it comes once you buy the license. I'm not 100% sure. Somewhere it should go. Let me do this Scala script. Hello world. No, this is not the one. Okay, that's fine. I will figure out later. There is another way of getting the terminal REPL here, but this is the recommended way because you can get the help and all. Okay. So now I am stopping sharing his screen. And I'm sharing my screen now. Okay, now from now onwards, we'll be using the IntelliJ wherever we want. So I'm creating a new project. So always make sure choose Scala and SBT for the new projects. Click on next. Here you can give the name. Let me name it as Scala and Spark Workshop S&S. That is the name. And make sure we use appropriate project SDK, SBT version, and Scala version. It is 2.10.6. And here, make sure you use auto import. Otherwise, when we create the dependencies in build.sbt, it will not be reflected automatically. You have to choose auto import. It will give. Let me see. You have Ultimate? Okay, I think Ultimate probably auto import is default. Yeah, you have Ultimate, right? Probably it could be default. Yeah, I think it is default. So if you are using community edition, make sure you choose auto import. I think Ultimate, or probably you guys might be using the latest one than mine. Okay, so what auto import does is whenever you create the new dependencies in build.sbt, it will automatically import. Okay, and click on finish. And choosing this window so that everything else will be closed. Okay, it will just take a moment from the second project. Only first time it will take very long time because it has to download all the dependencies. Now it will be faster. It is already done. And here you can see the build.sbt. Okay, and if you look at the build.sbt, it has the name, version, and Scala version. I will explain these things later. And then go to source, main, Scala. You can choose new. And if you want to define a class, you can choose Scala class. And you can give the name to the class. Let us name it as department. And hit enter. Okay, and let me copy paste this code. Okay, here I have to give the department ID, in department name. Okay, so this is how you can create your class. Okay, so we will proceed further and we will write programs a little bit later. I have explained class constructor. There is a task. If you want, you can create a class called fraction. It must take two arguments, numerator and denominator, both of type int. In the constructor body, first print the numerator with the text, then print denominator with the text, then print the function fraction part of it, first as string and later as decimal. Sample output, it should look like this. So finish this task. It's pretty straightforward. If you understand how to create the classes, you should be able to take care of this.
Scala.
Yeah, you have to choose the new. Where is the Scala class? Okay, I think you did not. You have created a new project, right? Okay. I think you didn't create properly. Let us do this. Let us delete this. So from where you got the module? Okay, let us try this file. Delete. Okay. You have to go to that. So class name is fraction, and it should take two parameters, two arguments, numerator and denominator. So I will give, now it's 12:57, I will give time up to 1:05. If you could not, wherever you are, that is fine. I will just create the program and we will move forward. So those who are on online and also YouTube Live, we are planning to conduct these types of workshops quite frequently on vast array of topics. This is our first attempt. We did not market properly. That's why only you two and one more girl actually enrolled for it. But from next time, we will do it proper marketing. We will come up with proper schedule ahead of time. Every month, we will try to cover at least one topic. There will be one workshop per month, starting from July or something. There will be one workshop per month. At least one. data science and all, it is tough to get a appropriate candidate, and it's data scientist is completely different ballgame. It's not a technology role actually. So yeah, if we get the proper guy, we will do. But most, but we'll develop is a company where they have a lot of application development background using Java full stack, JavaScript full stack, Ruby full stack, all those things. So we'll be conducting on those areas, and also we'll be conducting a lot of stuff on cloud and DevOps. Mostly technology oriented, but if someone want to be partner on data science part of it, it's really good, we will consider. And small batches don't motivate me. That's why last night I just gave the offer people to just enroll for 6-month lab and get it online for free. I like to have larger batches.
As you said, right, this is the first step.
Yeah. And I'll be grateful for you both guys. And also one more girl. Otherwise, we were a little disappointed. But when you say that you were coming from Chennai and you were coming from Pune, that actually pumped up quite a bit.
You know, as you said, right, one more thing, you are covering everything in the open. So, that means if you are, you'll get it online.
Yeah.
I recommended you like that of video and
Yeah. So the thing is, it's more than see. There are people who don't want to spend too much of money, and at the same time, there are people who are committed. But in the open market, there are very few like you guys who are committed. So our main aim is to target the corporate sponsored guys. If we can come up with a proper plan, if companies pay, people will start coming. Right? So slowly, we want to get into the uh, corporate audience.
if you get the perfect of for before they will be able to come down
Yeah, yeah.
so we have some contact.
Okay. Sure, sure.
Maybe we could get the outsource basis and provide that kind of training.
Yeah. So we are planning to build a team where instructors will be up to the mark on whatever technology they are teaching. So we want to cater all types of audience as per their preferences. So that's our ultimate goal. And also, even though these things can be taught free, few of these things to get our brand built. But the stuff like administrator, cloud, DevOps, uh, no one can afford for free because it involves infrastructure to properly train people. Okay, even if I am willing to teach for free, people will not enroll because the way we teach, we want to give proper exposure to the people, and it can be quite expensive. But if companies started sponsoring, then people will start learning, and we will charge as per, including both the instructor's fee as well as the lab fee. That's where uh, I see a lot of potential. So the reason why I'm streaming all these things for free is people.
And also, can you get the partnership like the certification conducted from the
So nowadays the certifications can be taken from anywhere, so it won't add much of a value. You can take the certifications from home, CCA or autonomous, all the certifications. Anyone can take it from anywhere. So eventually I want to get into staffing then conducting these exams or becoming partner to take the certifications and all those things. one of the reasons why I'm teaching for free and streaming online for free is over a period of 2-3 years, I will get at least 100K subscribers or followers. Vouching on those, I can actually get into staffing, and it will be very easy for me to place the resources and all those things. So it's a long-term game. Okay. So now let me develop this class using IntelliJ. So here I am creating a new Scala class called fraction. And it takes 2 parameters. So I'm using IntelliJ on VI mode. So you will see different approach of typing and all those things. So don't be bothered. Just use as you are comfortable with. But I am using in VI mode. Okay. So fraction takes 2 parameters: numerator, int, denominator, int. Okay, and then in the constructor body, we just have to print the numerator with text, print the denominator with text, and print the fraction part of it. We are not writing any new methods. We are just printing the numerator, printing the denominator, and printing the fraction. So let me copy this directly. Okay, and here I am saying print ln numerator denominator. I will fix those errors in a moment. Print ln okay, so I have to say numerator plus denominator plus numerator divided by denominator. Okay, so here it is complaining because they are of type integer and we are trying to concatenate to string. So I have to say dot. It should not complain. That is not the issue. What is that? Yeah. Good catch. That's correct. Thank you. So yeah, so I missed the column here. That's why it is complaining. Okay, and then here how to add plus. Okay, so now we can. So I created the class. There are multiple ways to test this. Okay, one is you can create the object. Another way of doing it is this is a SBT project. Okay, so let us use SBT to run to test this. Okay, you can also use worksheet. There are multiple things you can do. I'm trying to show you how you can test it using SBT. And as part of that, you will gain some knowledge on SBT also. So first thing, you go to the directory where you have the projects. It's your project, which is this one idea projects S and S. Okay, so you have to be at the base directory of your project. You should see the source file, sorry, source directory and build.sbt. Yeah, at least you should see those two, source and build.sbt. Here you can say sbt console. Okay, what it will do? It will launch the Scala console with all the packages and the code which you have written as part of those directories. Okay, so now I said sbt console and hit enter. Okay, now one thing is you can say java p hyphen p. What is the class name? Action. Okay, here it is not working. With sbt console, this command is not working. Anyway, that is fine. So what you can do is fraction is available. The way you can validate is probably try fraction. Yeah, it is complaining that there is a mismatch. That's fine. So here I am creating a variable. Okay, and saying new fraction, and then I am passing two integers. And now you got the details. You got the numerator is 3, denominator is 4, and fraction. Okay, here we have to fix this one. Okay. So here you have to put it in brackets. Okay. So when you, if you have to, whenever you make the code changes, if you have to refresh, you have to come out of it and then run sbt console again. There might be other way also where you might not have to come out, but I'm not 100% sure on that. But if you come out and relaunch sbt console, the changes will be reflected automatically. Now if I create the class, I'm saying 0.0. Okay. Okay, let me try this here. Val a equal to 3, val b equal to 4, a divided by 4. Okay. Yeah. So I just have to remove these things. I think we have to change this to 2 double, one of them to 2 double, so that the return type is 2 double, double. Okay, so here denominator I am changing it to 2 double. That's when we are getting the results correctly. Okay, so this is how you can actually write the. Yeah. So a by b. So if you say a by b, it is of type integer, and we are trying to. Yeah, because this is already integer, and we are trying to convert integer 0 to double. That's why it is printing 0.0. But what I have done, I have said 3 divided by 4.2 double. So I am converting 4 to double, and it is working. So it is similar to this. Val a equal to 3, val b equal to 4.0, and then a divided by. Okay. So sbt console is very important command. You will see the power of it later. Okay. And if you want to test it here, you can also create a object with whatever name you want. Let's name it as object fraction itself. Okay. And then you can say def main args string, and then you can say val f equal to fraction 3, 4. sorry, new fraction 3 comma 4, and then you can say, yeah, you can go to run and click on run. Why it is asking? You don't need to do this. Why it is asking for the arguments? Okay. Let me name it as okay. I know why. What I have to do is, if I have to run it as a new, let me say Scala class object. And okay, I understand what is the problem. So when I say, so Scala is kind of a program file, and it has both object and class. So when I try to run directly on the Scala, it is not working. So if we choose object and then, okay, I think it does not work. So let me see. Okay, I think we cannot have both. Let me delete these things. It is asking like that. Is my main function is correct? Okay, I know the problem. So the problem is, let me delete this unnecessary one. So if you go here, the main function should take array of string. That is why it is complaining. Okay, now I can say see now run stack. So this is how you can actually invoke or use the class in a executable program. Okay, so I will explain object, how to create the functions and all those things later. But for now, you can just use this one to validate. I'm pasting this. Okay, you can use this program. So that being said, let us take a break. We'll catch up at 2:30. Okay, it's 1:20 now. We'll catch up at 2:30 after the lunch, and we'll take it from there. Okay, let me also change the schedule here. So it is at 2:30. Okay, so I will leave the WebEx session like this, only, but I will be stopping the YouTube session. And those who are on YouTube session, if you want to practice along with us, especially when we get into Spark and all, please sign up for the lab for 6 months plan and send me the email to training@itversity.com, and I will add you to the WebEx, and we can interact directly if you have any questions while practicing. And the training will be free for you, whoever is joining online. And these are the plans: $14.95 for 31 days, $34.95 for 93 days, and $54.95 for 185 days. Okay, you can choose one of the plans, enroll for the lab, and I will add you to the WebEx, and we can interact on WebEx also. It is primarily for those who are attending the session from YouTube Live. If you need WebEx, you have to enroll with this plan. Okay, so that being said, I am concluding the Hangout session. Catch you at 2:30 p.m. And tomorrow and after tomorrow, we'll be primarily focusing on Spark.